Hey there. Um, I've had a bit of a battle with my guidance today because I know that I need to make this video and I've been wanting to make it for a couple of days. But every time I feel inspired and juicy enough to make it, I haven't got any makeup on and I've either been sleeping for a while and just woken up and then feel like, oh, I need to make this video, or as in today, I have just had a lovely long bath and I'm pretty much exhausted because I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning and it's nearly 12 p.m. in the UK. So I'm also still struggling with the change in my physical appearance, in my hair, and that's just one of, like, my hair is a big thing, and I know that I look fine, but I don't like just looking fine, and I know that this is part of the journey, and that this is come around again for me to learn whatever I need to learn about really deeply loving and accepting myself, but it's hard. And I'd gotten used to being blonde and having the locks that had been a journey all on their own to, growing them for 2 years from this short and going through the really shitty in-between phase when they were just really short and looked crap, and still trying to do my best to love myself through stages of hair growth that I didn't look particularly attractive. And and hair is a big thing. Like, it's always been one of my main obsessions, and it's something that I am clearly needing to love myself through this process of change. And so I'm just getting clear, just checking in. This is where I'm at, and I'm struggling to do this video with no makeup. And if I had makeup, I would feel more confident and like I was pretty, because I can deal with my hair like this when I have my war paint on, and so I guess this is exactly where I'm meant to be. And I'm gonna one day give thanks for this, so I guess I will give thanks right now. So the little quick message that I wanted to share is about contrast, and it's a message that I've heard along the few years of listening to Abraham Hicks and Matt Kahn. In particular, they've been my two key teachers over the last few years, since I've been on my quest to find and fall in love with myself. And so basically, contrast is, in this context, when we experience what we don't like, when we are living a life that we don't want to be living, when things go wrong, when things are bad. That is, I guess, what we don't want. And the contrast of that, the other end of these things, are the opposites, are the good things that we want to happen. And so when we are living the things that we dislike, that's really an opportunity to dig deep into the reserves and to really connect with how deeply can we love ourselves through these experiences. I really feel like it's not, I'm just going to rest my arm so it's not shaking so much. It's not necessarily an opportunity to fix anything or to try and change anything, because, as the saying goes, nature doesn't need, nature just balances itself. Like, the universe doesn't need our help to change things. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I've been struggling with putting offerings out there and saying I'm this and doing that and doing workshops and blah, 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 because it's not about offering people ways to change, because the change will happen at the absolutely perfect time, and that is the truth. And in reality, there's nothing that we can do, and this is just my opinion and it's just what I've experienced. Or, you know, there's so much efforting that happens, and there's all these rules and these laws and whatever, and if we don't think these positive thoughts, then we're never going to get the life of our dreams. I really feel like that's bullshit. I really feel like the key to transformation is self-love. And the reason why it is the key to transformation is because inside, like deep down inside, when we receive all the things that we want, when we get the money or the car or the material things, ultimately there is a greater sense of satisfaction, of peace, of freedom, being able to travel, have nice things. And those are external expressions of a spiritual life. And it's easier to love ourselves when everything is easy, when there's plenty of money, when we can do what we want. And I feel like it's that sense of love and ease and peace that we are searching for, and rather than the actual physical things. And so it's my knowing that actually what we really want is self-love. What we really want is to love ourselves. And so all of these challenges and times when life isn't looking how we want it to be, that's an opportunity to actually say, regardless of how things are, they're not stories, this is not an illusion, this is life, this is reality. You know, things are shit, that's not a story. If you're ill, that's not a fucking story. That's real, that's not an illusion. If it was an illusion, then I could just open my eyes and it would be gone. It's not an illusion. This is life, this is physical reality that has materialized as an opportunity to love ourselves deeper and more authentically and more courageously than ever. And in that self-love and in constantly doing our best to love the self, no matter how life is and what it looks like, that is actually living the life of my dreams. And so I'll come back to the contrast. The beauty of contrast is how amazing life is when we've gone through something that we don't want and then come out the other end and finally reach a place of the experiencing what we do want. So for example, I was really ill for 6 weeks and I'd actually forgotten what it felt like to feel well. I'd forgotten what it felt like to just be able to go to the toilet and yeah, and not have pain. I'd forgotten what it felt like to be able to sleep and not be woken up with pain. I'd forgotten what it felt like to be able to just go out and not worry, make sure that I'm near a toilet for 6 weeks. And I was really ill. And 2 weeks ago, I really dug deep and I realised that I hadn't been very kind to myself for at least 6 weeks. Like, I'd been loving on myself and I'd been doing my best to be kind, but I hadn't really dug deep. And I find being ill very challenging. And so 2 weeks ago, I just dug really deep and I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to really love myself through this. And then I had to cut off my locks because I got head lice, and that brought up a bit of shame and childhood stuff. And I had to love myself through that. And I am so broke, it's ridiculous. And I'm having to love myself through that. And so, and then my hot water heater broke, and I've had to boil the kettle and have bucket baths for the last week, and I've had to love myself through that. So, and then today, and over the weekend, I did some clearing, and I just really went in with my self-love practice, and I've been, you know, talking to myself in the mirror every time I pass it, and just really, you know, just really loving on myself. And then today, the hot water dude came and he fixed the heater, and I just had a lovely long bath. And so the contrast is that when we go through something that we don't want, and then we get to a point where we are experiencing what we do want, we can only really, truly appreciate what we do have because we've experienced what we don't have. You know, and I have made notes because the other day I made a video and I just, everything just left my mind. I couldn't remember anything that I wanted to say. Yeah, so I've actually said everything that I made notes on, which is awesome. I'm awesome. So I guess that's just the message. Like, no matter what is going on in your life, I want you to stop calling it an illusion, and I want you to love yourself courageously, radically, unapologetically, and keep checking in with yourself and asking yourself what it is that you need, how you can serve yourself in a way that is going to prove on a real, physical, material level that you love yourself. What can you do in the next few days? Who can you let go of? What can you give to yourself? If you have no money, you can go for a walk. You can make a phone call. You can text someone and tell them, I need to talk. You can just sit outside and breathe. You can do some yoga on YouTube. You know, there are so many things that I've found that I don't need to be rich. And I think, you know, thinking, oh, I need money to do this. And I'm like, no, yes, it helps. But I can love myself, and I don't need to pay anyone to do that for me. And only I can do that. So contrast is awesome. And when we get to a point of real leaning into courageously and unapologetically loving ourselves, that's when I have already got everything that I want. And divine timing will bring all the rest to me. I have absolute knowing that this is true. So I hope this resonates with me, and that's the main thing. But it might resonate with someone out there, and or maybe millions, who knows. So you are loved, you are blessed, I love you, and I look forward to doing another courageous self-love insight that I've experienced and come through again soon.